event and they kill a harbor seal, does that mean that the turbine itself is inherently risky, or you had an habituated harbor seal that expected the turbine to shut down when it didn't? And so, to my knowledge, they're still running on this shutdown routine. So that's why I come down on the side of wanting to monitor rather than mitigate, because if you mitigate, you don't actually learn anything about how to go forward. Okay. So back in 2010, we established all of these high priority areas, and since then, there's been multiple commercial demonstrations that have gone in the water in both the US and Europe, both for wave and tidal. Most of them have substantial monitoring programs. I said at this point, we probably spend upwards of $20 million on environmental monitoring for marine projects. What have we found? Fish mortality for tidal turbines is infrequent. None has been observed to date. Doesn't mean it's not happening. It just means it's hard to observe. We've discovered that marine energy converters produce sound. There's a lovely paper by a group in Sweden that, honestly, through no fault of their own, concluded that when you bang metal plates together underwater, it's loud. That had to do with failures of the technology and failures of their monitoring system. Okay. That's not really a surprising outcome. And we've discovered that if you put structures in the water, they get colonized. Barnacles like to grow on static structures. Anyone who's ever put a buoy in the water could have also told you that. So we've got all these high priority areas. Why are we reaching nothing really more than the obvious conclusions? Well, there's multiple reasons for this. One reason is that oftentimes when these converters have gone in the water, they've not operated long enough to do an environmental study. You put a system in the water, it operates for a few months, the environmental researchers say, great, we're ready to go, and then something breaks, and you don't do the study. The other problem is in a European context, the strategy for adaptive management was deploy and monitor. We'll deploy these devices, we'll monitor the effects, and then we'll be able to say something about how we should proceed to the commercial scale. The problem is a couple of these projects never got past the deploy phase. They just deployed, and they didn't monitor. And now they said, well, we'd like to put more of them in the water. And the regulators